Hey guys, what's up? This is Jack, and today I'm gonna be showing off my new Guardian build. I actually had to change a few things about it because getting Twilight, which is power, vitality, toughness, changed a lot of things on my build actually, because before I had a Corrupted Avenger, as some of you know, that had a Berserker stat. So here's actually the stat overview. As you can see, this build is mainly for world versus world and dungeons, but also very good in fractals. Now, for fractals we're gonna have to change a few things about it, but let's take a quick look at it. First, you can see we have full Knight's gear, which is pretty solid, gives us a ton of precision and toughness, which we definitely need. Then for the sword, I have the greatsword that is power, toughness, vitality. You can get it from AC, for example, and I have a superior sigil of accuracy in it because it has 5% crit chance, and I like it better than building up crit chance by a sigil that stacks. This is not calculated into the 40% thing, so I basically have 45. And you can see we have a bunch of power, which has a pretty high attack, a pretty high armor, and reasonable vitality. This is good because some people will have, for example, 21,000 in their health pool, and it's just too much. If you have 21,000 in your health pool, you don't have enough defense or enough attack, and you're just gimping yourself. Some people have insanely high attack and stuff, but it's not good. I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather like an overall well mixed kind of thing. If you have an insane high amount of one stat but a low of the others ones, you're probably pretty easy to kill. I'm gonna get a little bit away from here because of this noise. Okay, so basically my trade setup is pretty standard: 0, 10, 30, 30, 0, which is a build that is altruistic healing and empowering might. It is based off, it's actually a combination of the two builds Strife has put out, if you've seen them, that are also altruistic healing. Here, let's look over the major traits quickly. Signet Mastery, this is very crucial for me because Signets recharge 20% faster. This is an awesome heal that gives me almost half my heal pool back, and I really like this one. The problem for me is I don't have much good alternatives, so while Shelter is pretty good, I'm not really a fan of using this with this build. Healing Breeze, I think it's pretty weak, to be honest, but for 40-second cooldown it's just too much. And Healing Seed I'm also not a huge fan of, especially the cooldown is just too much. We're going to be in a lot of close combat, and I don't really want to throw out Healing Seed all the time. Okay, so moving on, we have here the major trait Purity. Lose a condition every 10 seconds. This is really awesome. With the passive condition removal is great for in dungeons and for in worlds versus worlds, but that is not enough, and I will talk about how we're going to solve that later on. Here, 5% of toughness is given as a bonus to precision. If you're going to have a build that has this high a toughness, you definitely want to have that trait in there. And then here, then obviously this is where all the power comes from the altruistic healing. Applying a boon to allies heals you. We're going to be using a shout build that is not super supportive, but still gives a bit of support. And here, for example, if you cast any of these, you're gonna give your teammates boons. Well, not save yourself, but from these two at least, and giving them boons will then in turn heal you. Furthermore, empowering might, this is really great. This in combination with altruistic healing. Nearby allies gain might for 5 seconds when you land a critical hit. So if you critical hit once and there are 4 people around you, then you get healed 4 times. Not a drastic amount, but if you are in a fight and you use this attack, you can imagine how much heal you get. Here, two-handed mastery also pretty standard for your two-handed weapon skills to recharge faster, and shouts recharge 20% faster. Since this is a shout build, we can't miss that. So this is basically my setup for World vs World and almost every other dungeon that is not fractals. We have full soldier runes here, by the way, which is great because it shouts remove a condition as well. So I almost never do I have to worry about conditions. They just literally slide off me because of the 10 seconds and this thing. Here, what else is there to know? The amulets and stuff. I'm going to switch this one out for a berserker backpack soon to get more crit chance. The higher the crit chance, the more you heal yourself in battle. And these are emerald earrings but with ruby jewels. All of them, as you can see. This is great because ruby jewels, we only lose like 15 points or something for 3% critical damage. We still want to keep a somewhat of critical damage at least. And here these are just berserkers as well. This I'm gonna swap out for berserker, and as soon as I have enough laurels, I will also create a berserker for this amulet. And it will probably boost my build quite a bit. For the other weapons, I'm still using the berserker weapons. I think it's fine because they are ranged. Here you can see berserker. And on one I'm going to use the plus 5% crit chance as well, and on the other one we're going to be using Sigil of Energy. This is awesome because in combat it gives you actually another dodge, and dodging 3 times is really handy because it gets you really far away from the enemy. And I put this on one of my ranged weapons so that if I go into a range type of fight scenario or decide to get out of dodge because it gets too hot and I want to just run away basically and fight with ranged, then I can dodge 3 times if I switch to this. I also use the staff here. This one is great for the following reasons. Here you'll see. If I swap to this one, I get a bunch of healing power extra, and with here and power we basically give stacks of might to everybody, 12 stacks, but if we have 4 people around us, that is gonna heal us around 60 times because we have ourselves as well. So we're gonna be getting 60 heals from about 100 or so. So this will also be an insanely heal, pretty much as good as healing signet to do empower with the staff. Then let's look at fractals. How are we gonna use fractals? For fractals, we're actually gonna reset our trades every time, but not every time. Like, this is plenty good enough to go into fractals for about 80% of the people watching this. But if you're gonna do fractals like 30, maybe like 25 and up, let's say that, then I would definitely reset them, especially if you're gonna do multiple runs or multiple dungeons. You're best off if you swap out the entire Radiance trait by 10 points in Virtues and get something not vengeful, but something like Master of Consecrations is really good for infractals, and then you swap out these for like Shield of the Avenger, Wall of Reflection, you know, those kind of things that are often used in fractals. Consecration skills use ground targeting, you can also use, but you don't even really have to swap anything out. Like, this will usually suffice. The thing I like most about this is that we're gonna be critical hitting quite often. If you hit Fury, you can see here, we're gonna be critical hitting. If you hit, not Fury, save yourself. Then we have like almost 3000 attack with a bunch of toughness and 60% crit chance. That's pretty good. If we have a warrior in our group or 2 warriors in our group, we're gonna be having an insane amount of crits and constant healing to ourselves while giving might to the entire party. So it's really great to be... This is really a build that works best if you are in a party. If I'm just solo exploring the world, it's not that great. There are definitely many better. But if you are doing dungeons or World vs World, especially in World vs World, it is so powerful. I cannot believe it. I sometimes just jump in and I just start rolling red and throwing blades out and stuff, and after a while I die because we're getting usually insanely overrun or whatever, and then I get to the spawn point and I get like 7 bags of loot waiting for me there. You know, it's insane. So basically, that's it. That's basically my entire build, and I just wanted to share this with you guys, and because I feel like a lot of people I have been talking to lately have a very gimped Guardian build that is just too big on one side. You have to accept, you know, you can stack vitality. For a while I actually had a 20k Guardian, but you can stack vitality as much as you want. A warrior can have 30k or so HP, so I don't know what you're trying to do by doing something that your class was not meant to do. You know, you don't have to have a ton of health. 17k is about the perfect amount, I think. I think 15k with berserker weapons is a little bit short, but for the range that's fine, but to jump in I think it's a little bit short. Okay, I guess that's about it. If there's any questions, let me know. And I would definitely suggest everybody to try this out. It takes a little bit of work to get these fractal rings, and these two I don't actually have yet, the berserker parts, but it will definitely be very awesome. It's just a super strong build for a world versus a world and in dungeons, and super easy to play as well, which is kind of important. I guess I said about everything I had to say. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope a lot of people benefit from this. Good luck, guys.